This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
I'm Steve Swaffer. I'm the Executive Director with No-Till on the Plains. We've had a relationship with the Kansas Soybean Commission for 10 years or more now. Many of the things that we have worked on with them are improving soils. We do a fair amount of demonstration and education projects that the Soybean Commission helps us fund. Things that we worked on here in the recent past are demonstrations to show the value of cover crops in resistant weed suppression. So we have put on a couple of field days as well as put out demonstration projects that the Commission has funded for us where producers can come see on farm demonstrations of how either rye or another type of cover crop, a mix of cover crops, suppresses weeds ahead of soybean planting, and then throughout the soybean growing season, come back, take a look at what the weed pressure is within the growing soybean crop. And so what we've tried to show producers is that the value of soil health, the value of using multiple crops ahead of your soybean crop provides in weed suppression, and ultimately that's less cost with chemical use and better bottom line for the producers as they go and harvest their soybean crops. No-till is in a practice is fairly standard and has been made much more readily available to producers because of equipment innovations, better planting, better understanding of how you plant into a residue. But as far as the number of acres, no-till has kind of hit a plateau. And we still see a fair amount of tillage out there on the landscape. So we still think we have a fair amount of education to do. And that's where we use the Soybean Commission to help us spread that word. But the innovations that we've seen in the last 25 years have really gone from the value of no-till to the value of a system. And the system includes multiple crops in a rotation, using as much cover on the surface of the soil as possible, keeping a growing root in the ground for as long as possible, and then integrating livestock is something we've seen take off here in the last few years, where the soils seem to respond once you get a grazer out there, and the manure and the urine being incorporated back into the soil. That seems to stimulate the system. And so we're just seeing healthier soils grow better soybeans. Yeah, so we have a website that is notill.org, and coming up in January of 2019, we have our annual winter conference in Wichita, where we attract between 700 and 800 producers annually. And we have 17 speakers this year over a 2-day period. So you can find out all the information about the conference on our website at notill.org.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandarin with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.